Union Leipzig are on a mission to take down Red Bull and become the best club in Germany. Now, the owner brought in a board of German legends, built us a brand new stadium, and implemented world-class youth facilities. But all we have to show for it right now is a mid-table Bundesliga finish. We have to prove this season that the project is heading in the right direction. And this is going to be a year of change because Dennis Binder, the manager who led this team all the way up from the 3rd division, has just departed the club. This guy carried us through some hard times and handcrafted a perfect team with his unique 3-5-2 system. Now without him, we have a mediocre looking team that is nowhere near one of the best in the division. Can the ownership find an adequate replacement, or is this project going to fall apart without Binder at the helm? Well, breaking news, Union Leipzig have just unveiled our new manager, Victor Erlander, who's promised to take this club to the next level. This guy's got a tough, no-nonsense personality and a real winning mentality. He just led Freiburg into the Conference League last season, but is even more well-known for his 2 league titles with Copenhagen before moving to Germany. This is a manager with real experience in building winning teams, but can he do it with Union Leipzig? Well, the board certainly thinks so. So we get to work under the new manager, and Erlander rips up everything we knew, replacing Binder's elegant 3-5-2 possession system with his own trademark ultra-high pressing 4-3-3. Our new identity is going to be all about hard work and intensity. It's direct tactics from an equally direct personality. Erlander was known at his past clubs as a drill sergeant, and here is going to be no exception. Only the most fit and dedicated are going to thrive here. Erlander plans to build his army, but who is going to be a part of it? Well, the name of the game with the new tactics here is high pressing and intensity, and no one is a better fit for that system than Felix Kruger, our central midfielder, since the very first season. This guy is tailor-made to play under the new manager, and this is the kind of player we're going to be looking to build around. And another player standing out is last season's academy graduate Uwe Schwartz, who has a fantastic pass that leads to the assist for last season's top goal scorer Castro. It's our first goal under the new manager. We're seeing some bright signs already. But not everybody's fitting the new system so well, and the captain, Simon Wolf, has never been the hardest working midfielder. He's looking lost with this high press, and the manager quickly shows he's not afraid to make bold decisions, benching the captain in our 2nd preseason match. And it's a sign that nobody in this team is safe. Players are going to have to step up, and so far, a handful have. Felix Kruger continues his great run of form. This guy seems like he may be a favorite under the new manager. But this team's gonna need a lot of work. It's not just a new manager, it's a completely new style of play, and the high line that we're trying so far is getting ripped apart. There's big holes in our defense. This is a system that needs every player to work hard and buy in, and we see many of our attacking players like Julian Busch falling short in the team press. There's no chemistry yet, no real understanding of the system, and that's clear for everyone to see in preseason. The results are underwhelming here early on. The manager's clearly unhappy with this squad as he's trying to pick players to build around. It looks like there may be some other big names joining Simon Wolf on the bench if these players don't start to buy into the manager's system quickly. And as Erlander tries to figure out who to build this team around, the manager clears out the squad. A ton of our youth prospects are sent out on loan, and if they don't impress, I don't think they're gonna have a future here. The manager's making a statement. This is gonna be a team about winning. We're not a charity for youth development anymore. And the owner is fully backing him, afraid of losing yet another manager to the insistence on playing youth. But can he deliver for us? Well, the manager's looking to make this team his own, and he makes a huge call, giving the captain's armband to his new favorite midfielder, Felix Kruger, and again leaving Wolf on the bench for the start of our season. But this is just the start. So in come the new signings as Union Leipzig doubled down on the manager, giving him players that fit this new system. These are not promising young players from the academy or shiny new signings. These are hardworking players vetted by the manager who he thinks can play the high-intensity style he wants. Now we've seen some shakeups, but the big changes are still yet to come. Erlander's in the process of building his foundation, and every single player will have to earn their spot in this team. It's a new era for Union Leipzig, but who will be a part of it? The excitement builds as we start our season with a new manager, captain, and players. This could be a big new era for Union Leipzig, and now against Bayern Munich, it's a big test. Is Erlander gonna be the real deal? Well, it's not exactly looking pretty just yet. Those possession patterns of play are gone. And with players still used to trying to play out from the back, we see a lot of early mistakes, and that's costly against a big team like Bayern. It's a pretty awful first display here as the high line and disorganized tactics we have get absolutely shredded apart. It's a comprehensive loss. It looks like it's going to take some time for this new team to settle in. But we're just not seeing a lot of promising signs yet as we're sloppy in possession. And without the ball, the manager is clearly frustrated by the lack of pressing from his forward options. This is a team that wants to build an identity of pressing all over the pitch, and when our stars like Bush and Castro are not working hard out front, it's a big problem. And the mood sours yet again as a late goal conceded in our second match. Well, so far we've seen very little to get excited about just yet. But Erlander continues to look for solutions, benching Castro in the next match and bringing in his new signing Thomas. We're actually going to try playing Julian Bush up top. And the difference is clear to see as Torben Thomas starts on the right wing. He's definitely putting in the defensive work, and the team's press looks better against Dortmund. The spirit's becoming contagious as we see Uwe Schwartz pick up on the intensity, winning the ball back to spring us on a counterattack. Benching Wolf and Castro sent a clear message to the players who are picking up the slack here as Erlander's vision comes to life. It's direct, it's chaotic, and it's exactly what the manager planned here as Uwe Schwartz scores an absolute banger to get us in front against Borussia Dortmund. This may just be a statement from Union Leipzig. We've seen a much more high-energy, high-intensity team on the pitch tonight, and Julian Bush is the latest to shine. It looks like the manager may just be figuring things out. Maybe this is a turning point for him this season. Plus, we're seeing some great signs from our goalkeeping hero Samuel Sauer, who finally is picking up where he left off last season, making some unbelievable saves. But again, the difference in quality is there to see as Dortmund eventually do find a way through, and Union Leipzig, who have fragile confidence at the moment, start to panic. The team completely falls apart here as Dortmund again put 3 goals past us. Despite some promising signs, it's another loss for Union Leipzig. We have to get this together, and fast. And now with a match against our rivals RB Leipzig, it feels like this has to be our moment. But again, we find ourselves trailing a goal as Red Bull get in front, and the manager is left scratching his head. Something here has to change. So at halftime, the manager decides he's gonna bring on Simon Wolf because we need a creative force in midfield. And with our former captain back in the side, that is exactly what we get. A goal from the number 10 to prove maybe his time here at Union Leipzig is not over, and maybe we can finally get a result against our rivals RB Leipzig. This could be a huge match. But again, Union Leipzig's defensive shortcomings cost us as we concede a second and blow yet another game that was shaping up to be promising. It's been a horrendous start to the season, and even now, this early on, the fans are starting to turn on the new manager as he's benching some of the favorite players and not getting the results to back it. No wins in our opening 8 games means we're not just underperforming, we actually might be on track for relegation at this rate. So with a small break in action for the German Cup, this has to be the moment the manager does something to turn it around. Because looking at the players we've used so far, there's just not been a lot of standout performers at all. So Erlander makes the bold decision to just go with experience, putting our longtime number 9 Nico Fofana up top. Now Fofana might not be the best individual player in this team, but what the manager's been preaching is teamwork above the individual, and Fofana does exactly that, picking up an assist, and that's the exact type of goal we're looking to score. No nonsense, lightning fast counterattacks. This is a very different style from what we got used to under Binder. But we are slowly yet surely finding players who thrive under this new system, and Uwe Schwartz is among them. His absolute quality is shining through. He's quick, he's strong, he's direct, and most importantly, he just gets goals. He's a no-nonsense kind of player, and it's a reminder he's only a teenager. This kid really is something special. A few small tweaks to the team is all it took to finally shake our bad run of form. It's a big win for Union Leipzig. We're moving on in the cup, and hopefully this spills over into the league. And Fofana brings more than just his offensive quality, it's the defensive work rate and hustle that he brings to this side. It's what the manager's been asking for. The reason Castro got benched, Union Leipzig are finally pressing well from the front. And the chemistry is slowly building in this team as Nico Fofana and Uwe Schwartz again link up well, and Schwartz is proving to be absolutely ruthless in front of goal. What a young talent we have on our hands. But the real star of this game is Nico Fofana, whose unselfish passing leads to so many opportunities for our wingers, and now Julian Busch is the latest to get on the score sheet. It's a revelation. Our front three has been absolutely on fire in this one. It's another big win for the team, and it quickly becomes a complete 180 in our form as the players, suddenly full of confidence, are thriving, and it's our wingers leading the charge. Uwe Schwartz is on another level this season. It's early days, but he's looking like maybe one of the best players in the league. We're officially out of the relegation spots, but with a tight league table, we need to make sure we keep this form up. And now with a return to the German Cup, a win here would be huge. We could book our first ever spot in the quarterfinals. And we see continued signs of progress as Union Leipzig find their footing under the new manager. It's Julian Busch who comes up big. We're finding the players that fit the manager. I think we're seeing something special finally emerging here. And in the manager's continued quest to pick a team for the future, the numbers are speaking for themselves. It's our wingers who have had the best output and seem to be our best attacking options. So yet again, it's a tweak to the starting 11 as Nico Fofana is moved to the side in favor of having Julian Busch as our new starting striker. And now it's a front three of pure wingers. We're gonna see a lot of pace here on the counterattack. And yet again, Erlander's decisions have been spot on as Busch assists Schwartz for the opening goal, quickly followed up by Thomas de Schwartz for a second. Union Leipzig have been all action up top. We cannot stop scoring at the moment. And there's no signs of slowing down either as Julian Busch gets on the score sheet, followed up by a third from Uwe Schwartz, the hat-trick hero. It's an enormous win for Union Leipzig, and despite some bold decisions from the manager this season, nobody right now can deny that they are indeed paying off. And our scorelines are reflective of the manager's philosophy. It's all action, high-octane stuff. We've become a team that doesn't let the opposition breathe for the entire 90 minutes. We press high, we play direct, and most importantly of all, we're winning games. And finally, we're cracking into the top half of the table, sitting in 10th place, plus we're on an upward trend. The manager's figuring out players he trusts and who he wants to build around, but his work here is just getting started. So as we enter January, this could be a big window. We're gonna look to bring in new players and offload the ones who aren't fitting the new manager. And first comes the tough part because the manager's alienated a few of our past stars, and it means we're gonna see some of our best players leaving the club in favor of supporting the manager's new tactics. First up, it's Danny Castro on the way out, who unfortunately only lasted a season with us, but the one that really hurts is Simon Wolf, our longtime captain and star player, who unfortunately just isn't a fit for this new manager. We depart ways, but the club and the fans are very sad to see him go. But with those big deals done, Union Leipzig have some serious cash to spend for the first time ever, and the club are gonna back the manager, and whoever he wants to bring in, they believe this is the guy capable of taking us to the next level. We bring in another winger to help bolster the manager's new front line, but the real story this window is a statement signing of 20-year-old defensive midfielder Samuel Fischer from none other than Borussia Dortmund. With young players all over our first team, Union Leipzig are getting a reputation of being the go-to club for young German players. This is a move that cements that, and it's the kind of signing that shows we mean business about becoming a top team. This is a signing that immediately improves our midfield, and Erlander is quickly getting together a solid team here. Erlander's building a group of die-hard players that buy into his system and rewards those that do. Nico Fofana gets himself a contract extension, and our longtime number 9 is going to stay another year with the club. And in the face of some big departures this season, keeping him around may just be vital to keeping our dressing room culture happy. This is one of the most experienced players in a young team. So we head into the second half of this season, energized by changes to the squad and in full belief that the manager is going to build Union Leipzig into a top team. And sure enough, we pick up where we left off. Our front three has been so fluid and dynamic, We just can't stop scoring. And sure, it took some time to adjust under the new manager, but now we're seeing exactly what he's all about. These ruthless, pacey counterattacks are so effective, particularly when we have players like Schwartz who are so clinical in front of goal. This is not a fluke. Union Leipzig are the real deal. And sure, we have some good players, but you gotta credit the tactics. We're finally seeing this high-pressing style work well with the front three that are bought in. Everyone from the front to the back is working hard. And Union Leipzig have truly become a hard team to play against. We're quick, we're direct, and we're full of intensity, and nobody in the team embodies that style more than Felix Kruger, the player who's been the engine of this team since day one and now has a manager that values that above everything. He's been a perfect fit as captain. In leading the charge for this team are some of our young homegrown players. Samuel Sauer has continued to have excellent development in goal. He's becoming one of the best keepers in the league. And with new signing Fischer dictating the play in midfield, we're seeing even more chance creation as our front three is shining bright. Uwe Schwartz is the man again, but it's everyone who's working together to get us such a great run of results. Everything is going well for Union Leipzig right now. We're sitting in 10th place, but only 6 points off of the top 6. We're a couple of games away from potentially being in European spots. We're on the verge of taking a big step up as a club, and with the quarterfinals in the German Cup up next, a win and a spot in the semifinals would surely be a marker of that. This is a new era for Union Leipzig, and the manager's marking that with some kit number changes, giving Sauer number 1, Kruger number 8, and Uwe Schwartz, our new star, the number 11. These are the players he wants to build around, and they're being rewarded for their performances. So now in the quarterfinals of the German Cup, it's clear for everyone to see Erlander's Union Leipzig is here. This high pressing style all the way up the pitch leads to a chance, and the only goal of the game. This is exactly what he's drawn up tactically. In just a few short months, the manager has completely transformed the style and identity of this team, and you have to say, it looks like it's been for the better. We're headed to the semifinals, where we take on Bayern Munich. This is going to be a huge test, but that's exactly what we want this season, to prove we can finally do it against the big clubs. All eyes are on that game in a few weeks. But as we return to league action, Union Leipzig seem unstoppable at the moment. Uwe Schwartz is not just a promising young kid, he might actually be one of the best players in the league right now. And for a team that's long been reliant on Julian Busch as our standalone star, I think he's got some big competition. And truth be told, I think Schwartz is making a case for being the new face of Union Leipzig. But one thing the manager's made abundantly clear is it's about the team and not the individuals, and thankfully, we're seeing everybody play their part. And it's backed by the manager's philosophy, this high-octane, high-pressing stuff. It's a joy to watch, as we never have a dull moment in our games. It's vastly different from Binder's possession style that we got to know and love, but this is great in its own way. And as Uwe Schwartz shines again, Union Leipzig are absolutely unstoppable right now. We're actually within 3 points of a top 4 spot now, on the back of a 19-game unbeaten streak. It's been an insane run of form. It took a while for the manager to figure out his core group of players, but the ones that ride or die for him are really thriving. Uwe Schwartz is having an absolute breakout season, but with Busch, Thomas, and others playing well, the foundations are certainly there. And now comes the biggest game of our season. Our rivals, RB Leipzig, for the first time ever, we're ahead of them in the table. This is a win we need to show that we really are here as a top team and finally make good on our mission of taking down Red Bull. And it's a strong start from Union Leipzig. For the first time ever, it feels like we're on equal footing with our rivals. We're pressing high and keeping them at bay, and then when we get the chance, springing on the counterattack, and we come dangerously close a few times early on. But the game is wide open, chances at both ends, and we are also lucky to not concede ourselves. But coming off the back of such a great run of form and now full of confidence, we really believe we can finally beat Red Bull here. We've actually had the majority of chances, and we're relentless in our pressure, but we just cannot find the back of the net. And in games like this, when the margins are razor thin, the difference is the quality, and that perfect pass is the only thing that separates our two sides. Union Leipzig's 20-game unbeaten streak comes to an end, and it's at the hands of our rivals. That one is hugely demoralizing. Well, 27 games into the season, we're just a point now behind RB Leipzig, but still in the running for Europe. We can't give up just because of one bad result. 3 points between us and 4th place, we have to believe. But our next test is even more massive, a semi-final against Bayern Munich for a spot in the German Cup final. This is another chance for us to prove ourselves against the top side in the country. The new manager Erlander is dead set on turning us into a team of winners, and soured by that loss to Red Bull, he's turning up the heat on our team. This is a must-win game. And the manager's style still shines through clearly. We're flying into challenges and not letting Bayern breathe, but they are a dangerous team. They keep the pressure on us here early on, and it's again the better team on paper who take the lead as Bayern score, and all of a sudden, things are not looking so great for Union Leipzig, who are facing another defeat to a top side. The manager is furious. He's a winner, and to him, losing this match is not an option. And the players can feel that as the intensity cranks up here in the match. Union Leipzig are not just gonna roll over and take this as Uwe Schwartz leads the charge, energized by the manager's pressure put on him, and he comes so close to scoring, but still no goal for us. The intensity remains as Fischer goes flying into a challenge. The press is still working, but our attacking options are falling short as Julian Busch is missing in the final third. And Union Leipzig are officially knocked out of the German Cup. It was a good run, but it's a sign we're not yet the finished product. We still have a ways to go. And now all that's left to worry about is our league finish. We have to remain focused. European spots are not out of the question. But this next game will be just as challenging because it's a doubleheader against Bayern Munich. This time, it's in the league. Can the manager finally get us a result against the top side? Well, this time around, it's even worse, as Union Leipzig are easily dealt with by what's clearly a better team, having lost our composure, and suddenly this string of losses has shaken up the confidence of a Union Leipzig team that was actually starting to look invincible. And the manager, who has a known tough personality, isn't willing to settle for excuses, and in the face of 2 scoreless matches against Bayern, he publicly criticizes one of our own, calling out Julian Busch for a lack of scoring in big games in a hope to motivate our star player to do better. The manager wants a team of warriors and mentally strong players, and while some players like Schwartz and Kruger seem to thrive with that mentality, others don't. Having just been criticized by the manager, it appears that Julian Busch, a player who struggled for confidence in the past, is suddenly struggling even more, making mistakes and overthinking things. He again goes missing in the next game, and it's more dropped points from Union Leipzig. It looks like those couple of losses have rocked this team to its core. And Erlander, a manager with high expectations, doubles down, again criticizing Busch and laying down the expectations. He wants a team of players who can handle the pressures of being a top club. He's not gonna coddle any of our stars. But the manager's abrasive personality isn't for everyone, and as he's been critical of the players, it's taking its toll. Some of our players are having their confidence shaken as results continue to be mixed. It's our left back, Mateusz Wolski, who gets caught out of position for a goal in the next game. The manager's calling these mistakes out in front of the team and the media, and for the players being criticized, it's creating a bit of a toxic atmosphere. A growing number of players at Union Leipzig are becoming unhappy with Erlander's critical nature, and it's creating a divide in the dressing room. Because there's also players who couldn't be happier. Players like Schwartz, Kruger, Sommer, Fischer, and even Nico Fofana, who are thriving under this manager's fighting spirit and mentality. We've got 3 games left in the season and still an outside chance at a European spot, but it has to be a confident finish. Can the team rally late on, despite the dressing room issues, to finish strong? Well, we've still got plenty of players who are bought into the manager's vision and are working hard. The only problem is the players that are struggling are some of our most important, as Union Leipzig are just having trouble scoring. It's Julian Busch who's the lowest on confidence. And while in the past Dennis Binder was able to pull him out of cold spells, the new manager isn't having any success with that. So with an absence of goals from players like Busch, we have to rely on others, with the new signing Fischer linking up with Academy graduate Vincent Sommer who is one of the players shining under the new manager this season, the type of energetic midfielder who pops up all over the pitch, and now he's coming up with important goals. Union Leipzig keep on pushing with only 2 games left in the season. We need to give this our all, but Julian Busch continues to struggle in front of goal. He's popping up in all of the right positions, but a lack of confidence and even just a bit of bad luck are making sure he cannot dig himself out of this slump right now. So the manager turns to some of his most trusted players, with Nico Fofana coming off the bench, and once again he proves he's a vital member of this team, scoring a massive goal that secures a win for Union Leipzig with 1 game left in the season. Now can we end the campaign on a high note? Well, Nico Fofana, having earned himself a spot, comes dangerously close to scoring early on, but it seems like we may be short on luck at the moment. All of the same tactics are there to see, the high pressing and intensity. We're even winning the ball back high up the pitch, but something is just missing in the final third. Union Leipzig finished the season with an uninspired, scoreless draw. It's a mediocre end to what could have been a spectacular season, and yet again we come up short when it matters the most. It's a 10th place finish, and we sit under our rivals on goal difference. This was a season of almosts. We had a deep run in the German Cup and multiple chances at touching Europe, but we still have work to do if we want to cross that line next season and actually become a top club. This season was all about change. Under a new manager looking to build a team of players who fit his ideals, Erlander is far from finished shaping this team to fit his standards, and I think we're going to see a lot of changes again next season. But the future's exciting because with potential spots opening up, we can turn to some of our other promising academy players. Next episode's going to be a massive one for Germany's newest club. What comes next for Union Leipzig? We'll find out next episode. And a huge thank you to all my channel members who help make this content possible. And if you're enjoying this series, please consider subscribing as a member on this channel as well. You'll get perks like early access to videos, but more important, your support is what I need on my goal to do YouTube full time and make more quality content like this. Thank you so much for watching either way though, and I'll see you back here for the next video.